All right, folks. Today I am here with Maria Quattrone from Philadelphia Remax at Home. How's it going out there, Maria?
It's great. Thank you. How are you, Suneet?
Good. Long time no see. Last time I saw you was in Nashville and you were crushing the stage at Chet Black's event. So good for you.
Yeah, that was fun. That
Uh,
was fun. That was my speaking debut.
really?
Yeah.
Debut?
Yes.
You were up there like a pro, Maria. So you
Oh my gosh.
surprised the hell out of me.
It
Uh,
was it was crazy. I just said I'm going to rock it and let's go.
Well, you did. I'm really impressed. That was your first time, man. I had no
Yes.
idea.
And in front of all you all.
Good job. Wow.
Thank you.
Um, so we were talking right before the show started, and I'm just really impressed with what you got going out there. I thought you'd be a great guest to talk about because it's different than maybe my motto, which is the big team and a ton of leads, right? So you have three admin, one buyer's agent,
A
and
listing partner.
listing partner, and then you have it's a total team of about six, right? Six or seven.
Yes. We
And
want to grow that, but yeah, that's where we are now.
how many properties will you guys sell this year with that tight group?
Well, we're on schedule to do about 250, which was more than last year. And in Pennsylvania, we were closed for about I think it was 9 or 10 weeks,
Was it that long? Wow. So
which is crazy.
yes, that's longer than we were out here in California, which is to say something. You would never think that Pennsylvania would be more strict than California, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So 250 homes this year being shut down for about almost 2.5 months. You have my respect with that completely. Tell me how you guys are doing it with this tight knit crew and so many homes and COVID. I'm totally curious. I'm impressed.
Well, I think it's just getting it done. I think it is saying, okay, here's what happened. Now, what do we do? And diving in deep with our clients, and client care is big. And working with we do a lot of seller side business, so working with our sellers, talking with them about what we need to do to get it done. And we had already been doing 3D tours prior to this, so we were set up when the you know when the lockdown came in place. The week before, I had said to my husband, I said, whatever property that we don't have a 3D tour on right now, I want you to go out and get it. So we had bought that camera, I guess it was sometime last August. So we were already prepared in regards to that, part of it. And then just literally working, I would get on my computer 7:30 a.m., finish around 6:37, eat dinner, go back upstairs at 8:30, go to around 10-ish. And we rocked that out the entire time while we were under lockdown. And then even doing work on Saturdays and Sundays, about 4 to 5 hours a day those days. So it was a lot of hours that we put in order to move things forward. And at that time, since we couldn't show, what we did is we focused on getting the listings ready in pipeline so that when we did open, we had a lot of inventory to go directly to the market.
Great. So what kind of camera is that? A Matterport or a Theta?
Yeah, we have the Ricoh one,
Yes.
which actually works really well. If we need to do something that's a little bit more involved, maybe it's a listing that's, for our market, would higher end would be like 900 and up. We would engage somebody else to do the Matterport video, which, would give the dollhouse effect. But yeah, we did great with it. And then, some of the things that we do with all of our listings, even before this, is we do a lot of virtual staging. We do a lot of properties that may even already have, homeowners living in it, and the kids' rooms are red and green or purple. we would, use that virtual staging to remove everything out, put new things in there. And that's something that, I think is key. It's critical because buyers don't have vision. Most people can't see, they can't see it. They have to visually see it. So we want to paint that story for a lifestyle for somebody, and seeing a kid's room that's red and green in a house is not really paint the story for that new homeowner that's going to live there.
Sure. Yeah. Not everybody has a 4-year-old little girl who likes pink walls.
Exactly.
What do you use for the virtual staging?
We use a company called Why Not Homes. We have used somebody like Box Brownie before and a couple others. We have found this company to be the best for us anyway, so far.
So that's really interesting because, I try and list as many homes as you too. And, but I never do. We used to do more virtual staging and we got away from it. So I'm going to write myself a note to go look at what needs to be done because it's so simple and easy. And yeah.
And we talk with our database a lot, as much as we can on the phone, but we utilize the follow-up boss and the action plans with video. And I spent 3 weekends in the month of June shooting 65 overproduced videos that would go out as action plans, whether it's long-term seller follow-up, short-term seller follow-up, like 90 days or less, and even in the beginning of the pre-list, people, the potential client, we don't call anybody a lead, it's an opportunity. That opportunity is getting multiple videos from us, talking about what we do to market properties, talking about why marketing is important, why they should hire us, video testimonials from clients. So there's a lot of things that we put into place. It's a very tactical approach.
That is good. So, and I'm going to take a bunch more notes. So please don't think I'm just sending a text or posting on Facebook, but you're giving me a lot of ideas.
No, I do. Like I was telling you, we started the Be the Solution podcast, and here's how that happened. I'm a social person. So when the lockdown happened, I'm like, wait, I can't go to the restaurants, grab a drink with somebody, have coffee, go to a networking event, or really see people walk. Even in Philadelphia, it's a very walkable city. We're only downtown area. The width of it is about 2.5 miles. So literally it's walkable. And then about the center city core is about like a mile wide. So you could walk around the city and see people. Because I've been in the business a while, but I've been in the business world for over 27 years. So I see people all the time, and I've been Philadelphian my entire life, and I've lived in the city for over 25 years.
Cool.
So you could imagine just walking down the street, I would see a lot of people. So I couldn't do that. So the lockdown for us started March 20th. By April 1st, we had come up with the idea of the podcast called Be the Solution. And how that came about was I get calls, like I'm like the second or third broker a lot. And it's like somebody heard about, Nick knows me, that they talked to their friend about, and they hear they can't sell their house, and so I get the call. And so we were talking, he said, we get all these like challenging cases, I call them cases, and files. And I said, we're always solving problems. We're providing solutions. And then I went, ding, 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 be the solution.
Love it.
So what can you do every day to be the solution? So we have taken that as Be the Solution as our number one core value at Maria Quattrone and Associates, is to be the solution. And what solutions can we provide for our clients in order to make sure that the sale happens and get them to the closing table? So we made some big moves very quickly, and the podcast starts with Facebook Lives, and YouTube now as well. And we're still waiting to get in on LinkedIn, because that's a tough one, but we are not giving up on that.
Good.
And then from there, a few weeks later, it goes into the podcast and then gets launched. We launched the podcast on July 15th. So I think we're in season 3 right now, and that's getting some momentum. So listen, anything you do is over a long time. You have to be consistent, and you got to be in for the long haul.
So I'm curious about that podcast for sure. Is it mostly real estate, or is it going out to custom files as well?
No, so what we do is I do something every week called the Be the Solution, and that is a video that goes out to everybody in our database. So that's agents as well as our current clients, past clients, whoever. And that's a message. It has nothing usually to do with real estate. This week I talked about, is it meant to be? And then I gave a little dissertation about that and my thoughts about it. And then what happens with the podcast is the podcast will then get launched to, depending on what it is, either it's a mega agent or team, and that will go to all the agents, or it's a business owner in Philadelphia and or influencer, and then that will go out to everybody. So we have multiple layers of emails. And then I also do a real estate video every week that goes out. We also back it up with the Facebook and YouTube and sponsored posts and all that. So it's a multi-channel marketing campaign.
Sounds like it. You're making me think of everything I need to do. I'm going to say it again because I'm like, man, I've been meaning.
Come on, you're doing it. I see you.
But I mean, not as planned out. Well, I mean, sure, like my focus on this has been real estate. I doubt very many non-realtors besides my mom watch anything I ever post. But that's also by intention of a bit. But if you're sending out those videos to the clients for business, I mean, it's obviously working.
Well, I think, it's hard to say. The days of attribution are I think they're kind of over with the way people search, right? So they're going to Google and they're putting your name in, and either they're searching by find a real estate agent in Philadelphia or my name. And from there, then they're seeing what's on your Google page. So do you have reviews? What are your reviews saying? And it's okay. Listen, I got a bad review lately. Somebody had their panties in a bunch. And they were mean in it about even me personally. And It is what it is. Look, you're going to have it. When you're doing a lot of business, you're going to have it. You got to have thick skin. You got to know, you got to roll with the punches and keep going. But most of them are really good reviews, right? And then what else can you do to optimize that? Because the more that you have on your Google page is the more that you're going to get organic SEO. So we could see people, for some reason with us, they call more than they click through to the website and fill out a form.
Perfect.
So they're calling and they're saying that, listen, I want to buy or sell something. I say in my office, if somebody's calling here asking for something other than that, and that means they're active client or pending and they want something, that means we missed the mark. So we're trying every day to be better, to do higher level of service, to make sure that the clients are informed, educated about what's going on, and know that they can call at any time, but we don't want them to call because we want to already have the answers to them.
I like that. You're the second guest recently to say that. Another one of the agents in our crew, Brittany Pino, she said the exact same thing as you, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so her and I have a very similar way in which we handle our clients, and we actually just recently had a whole conversation about it, and how the approach is a very granular approach. It's a very human approach, and that's how I want to be treated. So that's how I want us to be projected to everybody else.
It's fascinating. Something, I deal with in my business because we grew a lot this year, well over 100%.
Wow. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome, but it's created a couple shit shows in the meantime, right? Shit storms. And the part around the listings is always it, because you don't have time to talk to all your sellers, right? And you have to and do you feel like the sellers are ever happy talking to one of your admins?
Well, I do speak with them. We've had some things lately that we had to make change. Some people exited themselves. Some I had to exit.
Same.
And it's good. It's actually all good. But I decided I'm going to take the bull by the horns, and I'm going to be a little bit more involved right now in order, especially we're different in Philadelphia. I know a lot of other areas, their houses are selling crazy, but in downtown Philly, Center City, we live in a city. It's a little problematic.
Sure.
And we've had, along with other cities, we've had rioting. And just recently, we had a problem here happen with, police and killing and looting. And in fact, last night, the last 2 nights, we had a 9 p.m. curfew.
Wow.
So
in Philly?
I
didn't know.
Yeah. So we have to be much more aggressive with our clients and with getting things done. And so it definitely is more all hands on deck right now in order to make sure that we get these properties closed out.
So, but in a typical market, though, you wouldn't need to, or in a typical Philadelphia market, not COVID, not police brutality, riots. You got the most extreme things happening. That you have that you don't have, that you have your admin staff trained well enough that you're comfortable with them being kind of the gatekeepers for your sellers, right?
Yeah, we do definitely have some of that, and some I do handle myself still. It's a combination. Look, I think that you have to be engaged with people. People need to know that you care. They need to know, especially now, like, what should we do? What's the next steps? And I think right now, getting very, very focused is really key in order moving these houses.
So what's that look like? What are you very, very focused on going into next year?
Well, next year I'm working right now on planning for 2021. Actually, it just not 100% finalized budgeting for next year, but we are 87% there.
Wow.
And yeah, I just had the second financial meeting today, so that was good. And it's interesting, Cindy, because before I would be like, oh, I don't know where to categorize that. Where should we put it? And I was talking, I have an outsourced CFO, and I was on the Zoom with them, and I'm like, okay, that goes here, that goes there, bang, bang, bang. He's like, whoa, like, what happened? I'm like, I'm very focused. I have a lot more time now that I'm sitting in the office, I'm on Zoom, I'm looking at everything. I'm not out to lunch maybe once a week. I'm not out at networking events. I'm not, which would be before work, early AM or after work.
Sure.
So there's a lot more time to pay attention. I always use this analogy. Okay, so there's a party, and at the party there's 100 people. And when there's that 100 people at the party, you really don't notice the trash on the floor or the stuff all over. But when the party is small and you're sitting there and you're not just arriving at the party, but you're there from the beginning, the middle, and the end, and you're organizing the party too, you notice every single thing. So the attention to detail has gotten to a whole nother level because I'm extremely tuned in and my attention is not in other places.
That's awesome. I wish I knew what that felt like.
Come on.
I want to know.
Not a lot to do here. So it's like work, come home, cook a good dinner, have a glass of wine, maybe read a little bit. Sometimes I watch, stupid shows like This Is Us, which I was very unhappy with the other day, by the way.
That's what I heard.
The show. They added coronavirus and come on. It didn't even make sense because they shoot. Did you watch it?
I read about it. I have 2 little kids. I have
time. What are you doing?
Yes, I don't get to watch anything. By the time I get to turn on the TV, it's 9:30 and I'm asleep on the couch. Just like a dad, right?
That sounds about right.
I want to hear about that outsourced CFO. Tell me about that.
Sure. So before I left the company I was with, and I left actually, it was 7 years ago yesterday, and I looked at the date today and I went, oh my God, this is the first year that I missed the date, which means I don't care anymore.
Exactly.
Finally, it only took the amount of time. I was there 7.5 years. I've been with Remax that I own a franchise, but it's run like, as you said, as a team. And I did it because I didn't want to go to like a big company with 500 agents. I wanted to have my own thing, create my own culture, and just, do my own thing. But today I looked at the date and I went, I can't believe it. Finally. So I had engaged Jeff back then. I was deciding, should I stay? Should I leave? And we did the numbers and we said, okay, well, it might make sense to do your own thing. And so that's how I got involved with him. And I've been working with him for just over 7 years now. And so we meet a couple times a month. It used to be in person. Now with budgeting, it's a little bit more, but a couple hours. So it's probably about 4 to 5, 6 hours a month. And then they do for me every week. We utilize Brokerment for our back office system and where our commissions are run, connected to QuickBooks, which connects to our bank for our accounting. And in there, we will do a run rate based on our listings that are in pipeline that either are active, getting ready to list, or future business, because we do work with investors. We'll sign listings before they're ready to be marketed. It could be 6 months. They'll be just sitting there.
Sure.
And they'll produce a weekly run rate for me so I could see what we have, what we're projected to do on a weekly basis. And I look at it and see, okay, are we getting better or are we getting worse? Where do we need to pull back in money? Where can we spend more money? What does the next several months look like? What do we think we're going to close out before the end of the year? And it calculates the pending transactions as well into that figure. So they facilitate that process for me.
I want an outsourced CFO now.
Yeah. Do you do run rate or?
I don't know what they do.
Do you do it or no?
I mean, I have a bookkeeper and I know what's in the pipe. And I mean, we have a bunch of listings, and as soon as they get signed, they get put on a spreadsheet where I can see, when and where.
The run rate gives you a financial outlook.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, in this case, it's 6 months out. So I could see 6 months out. And what I do is, okay, so I get a new listing and it goes into Brokerment. And I'll say, okay, I project that this listing is going to close. We put it up today. I project it'll close December 15th. Or maybe it closes December 20th. I'm saying it's going to close in December. So sure. I might put the 15th on there. Or I'll say, you know what? I know we have this client needs to sell. They're buying a house. It's not selling until March. So this listing will be projected to close March 2021. And so that allows us to see the future of where we are financially for our company. And then I can make good financial decisions in regards to our spend, our budget for advertising or advertising spend.
I'm going to go on LinkedIn and find the outsourced CFO after we get done with this call.
I can introduce you to mine. He's taking new people if you want.
Really? Where's he out of?
Here, Philly, the suburbs.
The suburbs. I don't know what the difference. Oh yeah, because you live in the city and he lives in the burbs.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't matter though. Zoom. Zoom.
Sure. I mean, I'll definitely talk to him if he's working with a baller like you. Heck yeah. So to wrap it up, what's your advice to agents who watch this?
So a couple things. Number one, believe. You've got to believe in yourself. It's the number one thing. When I left that company 7 years ago, I lost belief in myself, probably for 2 years. And it was a struggle. It really was, the way that everything happened. And I would say belief, mindset, all we can control is right here. Don't be afraid to fail. Put it out there. Be you, be genuine, lead from the heart. Care
That's great advice. Heck yeah.
And also consistency and following up. Consistency every single day for your business. Every single day. What are you doing? And if you miss a day, and like if you're doing lead follow up, you miss a day of doing it, think about that. If you miss a day every week, you miss 20% of your budget, your
Right.
commitment. You call commitment for the year. And focus on today only, micro commitments, right? Tiny hinges swing big doors.
I love it. You've said three things that John has said, at least minimum. Good.
I'm a good listener.
You are. Well, thank you for joining me. This was awesome. I learned so much about your business and more about you, because this may be the longest you and I have ever talked one-on-one, right? So very cool. Thank you.
It was great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I can't wait to see you in person.
One day soon. Heck yeah.
Hope so.